you will never dodge it on reflex. So he tried to guess when it was. It wasn't the right timer. R2 landed. That was the kill immediately. But if that was an ignite, maybe it's enough damage in time, right? At the start of the all-in, the 180 health difference, plus all the healing he's not getting through Gunblade because of Grievous Wounds, maybe that fight is different. And it's yet again, if it was a different summoner, maybe it's a different game.
Yeah, it's really true. You know, the Shy was incredibly low, so Ignite might have actually just straight up killed him because this is also fairly high level into the game, right? So Ignite does scale as you're getting further in. But we are on into the next one. Levi going up against Jankos here. Jankos back on the melee hype train, but not using Snowball this time. It is Ghost Barrier. So I will say I'm a little bit surprised. Ghost is more reliable than Snowball, but Snowball's a very low cooldown, and I feel like when you connect that, getting right on your opponent's face, maybe he's more worried about, you know, the disengage or being able to stay on top of him when he's alt tumbling around and these sorts of things. But again, Snowball can reveal that stealth. So
yeah, the first time.
I am a little bit surprised that he didn't go for the Snowball here. We'll see if he has something kind of clever planned out.
Yeah, he's going to have to obviously ult to not get condemned. If condemn hits, you automatically lose the trade. If you get pushed back, it's already over. And that's, of course, a cooldown difference, right? That as soon as Ragnarok's down, now you can go back for it. You know you pretty much auto-win with condemn. As you mentioned, Snowball could kind of undo that. You can immune with dash, or you can at least land the mark and get back into range. This is going to be exciting because certainly it's volatile. I think either champion can win a 1.5 item 1v1. And it's going to be really up to a couple big things. Is Levi needs to not let Jankos pick up a second axe. Yeah. Right? If he hits you with one, dodge in and just don't let the second axe come down because Qmax is very common. Or dodge it with tumble in the first place and just keep cutting the guy. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what it's going to be, really. Like, can you actually avoid those axes? The hitboxes sometimes are wider than you see. You know, Levi rolled fairly quick there, but still did actually get tagged. That one will not hit. The other thing is Levi is going to be able to have access to the turret. And, you know, how much does he actually press for turret plates? Because you really want to do that and kind of extend your lead and extend the gold you can grab. But at the same time, if you do get tagged by the axe under turret and start getting chased down, it gets really risky. But from this position, I don't really think Jankos is going to have much opportunity to try to look for that all in. Ooh, couldn't find the health relic ring there either. Takes some more autos on top of that one. So certainly early game going well. The farm is fine for Jankos. He's actually getting a lot of these. Yeah, he's done well. Especially with a little bit of CS drop by Levi from all the harass. Not that harassing is wrong in any case, but this is some farm getting picked up there. Axe actually not hitting that minion kind of sucks. Yeah, and part of the thing is you're willing to give a little farm for the harass because the harass is what dissuades the all-in. And the all-in is the way that the Olaf wins, right? So when you are playing Vayne into these types of all-in melee matchups, you sometimes have to sacrifice a little bit of that farm to really make sure you're poking them down. Because then if they can't all-in you, it starts to snowball a bit, right? You know, they're not able to step forward, so you get more and more free easy CS, and you're kind of more comfortable to pressure the turret. And it does get better and better. And point out that we are level 6 now, so you are at the point where Ragnarok can immune and condemn, but of course Levi can turn invisible. Yeah. Still, with these health bars, obviously Vayne wins the 1v1 in any reasonable case where you're not hard trolling, and so Jankos is going to be on the back foot until a recall comes through for items. Yeah, so we'll see. Does Levi actually try to pressure in here to get a turret or two? That's a lot of damage. That shouldn't have to force barrier. He's alive. He's alive. Yeah. That's the last tick. But very, very close. And he does force the recall, and it's not a long cooldown on the Ignite. So you shove here, you try to take a turret plate or two perhaps, but there is some risk to him having a better buy and coming back and immediately all-inning you. So Levi is going to try to play it a bit safe. He wants to make sure he doesn't get caught greeting it out, and just going to be happy with the fact that Jankos will miss a cannon, which is a ton of gold when Jankos is already behind. Yep, and Jankos' approaches, he could have gone for a Doran's Shield for a bit of extra sustain and kind of stay in the lane a little bit longer. Chose to go for the Doran's Blade instead. Should still be able to finish, in most cases, a Black Cleaver. Should be able to get some decent items by the end of the game here. I also like the Health Relic Steal. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, and you can get that damage out from your Q. It does seem to proc on spells. So if you guys are just now tuning in, it's actually a 20% current health. He's going to go. And there's the ulti in. He's going to try to get away from this one again. Levi needs to get away from the axes. The flash in the same direction, though. This could be even more damage coming across. Going to land it yet again. This should be... Oh, that's a lot of damage. That was so close. The Ragnarok just barely expired, and Levi was able to actually condemn him away. Nice all-in from Jankos, and as a result, he's going to be able to pick up a farm advantage. He's going to be the one taking turret plates here and denying actually a lot away from his opponent, Levi. So Jankos looking for the all-in right when he got back at full health.
to make sure that he didn't get chipped down prior to it, and he sets himself up well.
Some of it was summer advantage, of course, as well. The Ignite was used for what amounted to poke, really, because it was just, you know, recall off of, and that meant a little bit extra that he couldn't do. The flash, of course, will be a longer cooldown as well, so there will be a 25, 30-second window where Ghost is up and Flash isn't, and Jankos can use that to all in yet again.
Yep, and he is building towards that Black Cleaver as expected in a pretty decent spot here. It's going to come down so much to can he just hit that initial axe to really kind of start that all in, because if you can't hit the first axe to really get it going, Levi, I think, is going to be able to create too much space, and then it gets very, very difficult to actually close that gap.
And I actually want to see Levi take a fight, like, right now, like, before Ghost barriers back up, is just, like, try to find some way to do battle, because you have a small summoner lead.
Yeah.
Use those 20 seconds, use that one wave of difference where you can maybe get something done.
Yeah, I think instead, you know, he obviously is just going to go for that recall. There would have been, you know, perhaps an opportunity, especially if Ragnarok's down, if he can get some sort of a condemn off or something like that. Interesting to see that he doesn't feel he can actually complete the full play of the Rune King, so it is just Cutlass, and now he has a Ruby Crystal on top of that, so might just be building some flat health. Something like a Giant's Belt could make sense here to just try to survive through any potential burst.
Nice job, dodges that act.
Yeah.
It's going to be useful. I'm trying to think of the math, and it's pretty tight. With that Ruby Crystal, if you do anything more than that, I think you can't fit the Rune King in the build anymore.
Yeah.
You're kind of up against it. It's like 1,800 gold roughly from here, or 1,600 gold from here to finish Rune King, which
I feel like
you just don't have time for.
When he bought that, he's just not going to get it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, generally he hasn't actually got turret plates. He hasn't actually gotten any kill. Yeah, Phage would be interesting. You can go Phage for the additional move speed, or just a Giant's Belt for flat health if you can't actually afford it. It will be the recall.
An optimal play should be Levi shoves this wave as fast as possible, and then recall. You should have enough time to recall. I think if you stay and hit the turret twice, you're definitely trolling. But you can see he's running Tumble, and he's like, you know, I want to make sure I have enough time. Walk far enough back that I shouldn't be hit by an axe. Start the recall. I'll miss 2 CS, that's okay. Jankos, he might get the recall stop. It's close. Oh. Real close.
Yeah, that was really, really close. So it is a Germs. So I do think Phage would have just been better if he had that extra couple gold, because as you have pointed out a bunch of times, it's a stacking item. The efficiency isn't there until you've killed a bunch of minions, which won't happen. But it is all going to come down to this. Summoners available, ults up. Okay. Both players are going to have their chance. I think Levi wants to make this fight happen earlier rather than later. If you wait too long, you're going to have nowhere to kite in the all-in. So Jankos is actually just chilling in this rush.
I would actually blue trinket condemn right now just to hit the guy damage. And like make him ult, right? Like just do something to poke this guy a little bit.
Does he even realize that he has the blue trinket?
He bought it. He actually bought it on the recall. I think it's available at level 9. He recalled, bought the blue trinket. Because I think it's automatic. I think he actually bought it.
The firewall is going to be here. It's actually almost right behind Jankos, so this is out of sync. You can see on the minimap, it's right up on them.
All right, here we go. They're going to try to kite back and forth. Ragnarok, of course.
Oh, nice dodge.
That dodge was needed, and he has the damage. The kill comes through.
That was really nice from Levi. The tumble, the invis tumble through his opponent.
Yep.
Jankos doesn't really know where he's going to go, so he just has to guess, has to throw out that axe, and he doesn't quite have the survivability. So back-to-back EU players getting knocked down.